What is up, everybody? Welcome to Revv Time. All that weird noodling at the top is based on the fact that I want to maybe see if you guys would be interested in this. I was checking out an old song that I played on back in like '98 with a really cool artist named Crystal Lewis. She's a big CCM artist, and she's still at it, man. I think she's doing stuff with Tori Kelly now, but she's fabulous. I played on a bunch of records with her, and I also did a lot of arranging for her. And this particular song is off a record called Gold. And the song's called Tomorrow. It's actually the first cut on the record. And it's just kind of fun to go back and listen to like where I was at back then as a player. This particular tune doesn't have a ton of guitars on it, but when I heard it, I just thought it'd be interesting to try to recall what I was using and how I got those sounds. So let's just, you know what, I'm just going to run the song and let you guys hear a little bit of it. And we'll talk about the sounds and how I arrived at them and what I might do differently if I were to record on that today. So yeah, here we go. Check it out.
Of nagging tomorrows just beyond my reach. It's ever always subtlety, seem harmless for the moment. Its venom is most bitter. Every time I give in, complacency.
Okay, so you can hear right away. Well, here's what I hear right away is that drum groove is sick. The guys that played on this record was, of course, yours truly, but it's Abe Laboriel Jr. on drums. If you don't know who that is, I think you guys probably do, but he's insanity. His grooves are just incredible. And I remember being on the session, like watching him track, and wow. Jimmy Johnson on bass. If you don't know who that is, look him up. He's one of the best of the best. And James Raymond. I think it was James. James and I were kind of arranging kind of in a similar fashion on these records. I think that's James's arrangement. So he's the one doing all the keyboard stuff. Now, James Raymond is one of my favorite players and just people on the planet. He is David Crosby's kid. So he works with like CPR and all that stuff. And he does a bunch of arranging and composing and scoring. He's just one of those guys that's multifaceted, crazy, crazy talented cat. So those are the players. That's why the groove is so nuts on it. Now, that opening tone is, when I heard it, I was like, man, I can't remember how I did that because I knew I didn't use a fuzz box. And now I remember I used Dan Garcia was the tracking engineer on the session. And actually, we did it at this really beautiful house. A guy named Tom Brooks owns the place, and it was a gorgeous studio inside this house. We tracked it there, but Dan Garcia was a tracking engineer, and we were trying to come up with, we wanted to do something that sounded kind of gnarly. And it was actually Dan's idea to use, I had a Boss, what was it, the SE70, the little half rack thing, laying around. He's like, hey, what if we do like a distortion tone off of that direct into the console, and then let me like gate it and do some trickery to it. He's like, it won't feel that great, but the randomness of it might be really cool. So that's what that tone is. Like, I would never do that now. I wouldn't have thought to do that, but that tone came out so cool, and it was a little gnarly. I remember it was a struggle, but everything I did, all that kind of stuff was just so random and cool. And whenever I did anytime I tried to do a harmonic, I had no idea what was going to happen. And I remember we pretty much did all those in one take. I think I went back and redid just one little thing, but left the rest of it to its own. We just kind of went for it randomly. I think the stabs, that kind of stuff, I think I did separately. But as far as all the, all that was pretty much in the one pass. Now that clean sound, honestly, I know exactly what I was using back then. I was using two Matchless Chieftains in stereo. And I don't honestly, I think for this song, we just used one in mono. And I think I ran it dry, but with a little bit of the reverb from the amp. And then Dan did everything in post because we wanted to have a little bit more control over what was going on. But that clean tone was beautiful. Let me see if I can get closer. And I think the guitar I was using was, and I really miss it. I need to get another one because I used it for everything. But I had a Tom Anderson Cobra that would have been from that era, like probably 96 or 95 when I had that guitar. And it was killer. I used the neck position on it in the split. It was a dual humbucker guitar. I used the neck in the split position. But I can try to like... There's no compressor happening. I can turn on a delay. That's pretty close. So I turned on like an Echo Boy delay in Pro Tools. Honestly, I think the only thing I would have done differently is I would have used a tremolo. I've got a Flint sitting here, a Strymon. I would have probably done that. I like that better. Not that I'm actually really happy with that clean tone, but I would have been more apt to just add trem to it, just to make it a little bit more vibey. Yeah, I think that would have sounded cool. Let me turn the song back on. We'll listen to a little bit more of it.
Is danger in its purest form. It talks me into things to which I wouldn't otherwise conform. Given my ability to give in to the easy way. No wonder why my spirit hates my flesh. Tomorrow is much easier to deal with than today. But when tomorrow comes, I still don't want to change. Why am I willing to replace a wealth of wonder with a life of sure uncertainty? Tomorrow may not ever even be. How can I come back?
Okay, let me move a little bit ahead because there's the bridge section, the B section. Hang on.
Oh, I know what's required of me. I want to do right. I want to do right. What is it that's keeping me from changing? Tomorrow is much easier.
Okay, so in that B section, I guess the reason I'm pointing out the B section of this song is mainly because it kind of highlights the fact that I'll come up with better ideas if I've got other people on the session with me than normally I will. I do good work by myself, but when I've got someone else giving suggestions, and Brian Ray, Crystal's husband at the time, was also producing, and when we got to that bridge section, we weren't really sure what to do over it. And Brian, he wasn't articulating chords to me, but he was like, "Hey man, can you do like a dun, dun, dun?" And at first I was like, I don't know what that means. But then when I started trying it, it ended up sounding really cool. And he even came up with that part over these changes. I was just playing the chords. I was kind of just going, and it sounded cool, but he wanted more of a signature. But that part, I wouldn't honestly have thought of that. I might have done something different that wasn't nearly as cool. So that's also kind of part of the whole, idea of having other people there on the session to just kind of throw ideas at you. So yeah, we got how I did the clean tones. There's definitely a bunch of compression on the clean that you're not hearing here that Dan did post. The weird fuzz tone just sounded so cool. That was Dan's idea. I don't think I'd have done that, and I think it sounds so much better. But anyways, here I'll play out the rest of the tune.
Easier to deal with that today, but when tomorrow comes, I still don't wanna change. Why am I waiting to?
Okay, that right there was my idea, but that was my that was in my Eric Johnson days. You can't really hear that I did another guitar down here and doubled it, so that at least that one was my idea. Okay, here we'll keep going.
Place a world of wonder with a life of sure uncertainty. Tomorrow is much easier to deal with than today. But when tomorrow comes, I don't wanna change. I'm not willing to replace the wealth of wonder with a life of sure uncertainty. Tomorrow may not ever even be.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, it was fun for me to go back and just think about this session and the players that were on the session and where we did it and the guitars I used and amps and just, yeah, like I said, where my head was at. I think there's things that I might have still done as far as that clean tone. Like I said, would have added a trim to it probably. But there's things I'd have never done. I'd have never thought to run, you know, a little Boss 70 direct into straight into the console. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, and let me know if you enjoy this type of content. I know I've gone a bit long on this one. What are we, 16 minutes now? Yikes! But you know, if you guys enjoyed this, you know, let me know, and maybe I'll try to every now and again do content like this. All right, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.